what is relevant just comes up. It is not about flashes or you see something. It just happens. It flows from the intuitive space.
Like a thought?
Let things be a little bit of mystery also, no?
Can you share if a Kaalgyani's advice can actually change the course of event in the future? What's to happen?
Whatever you tell them from a space of intellect, it doesn't go far. But Kaal Gyan, it comes from an intuitive space. It goes beyond the time. When it comes from that space, that energy guides the person.
It's not an invasion of someone's privacy. We are not walking around there, judging people. It is just something to help the person out. It is more for the other than for us. I'm meeting them for the first time, right? And it happens online also. When a random person who they have never met in their life shares their innermost thought,
Wow.
that just opens them up.
So how is Kaalgyaan different from astrology?
Astrology gives you a broad roadmap towards where is the life heading, what kind of obstacles you may face. Whereas Kaal Gyan, I've seen it's very specific.
In my experience, that Kaalgyaan itself is the remedy.
So is there any historical reference to Kaalgyaan as well?
Kaal Gyan comes from the space of intuition, the calm, quiet space from within. And that space, the sutra says, that contains the seed of all knowing all the time.
She was so surprised that just attending the process, things started moving in her life.
When people ask how can everybody be intuitive? But they say yes.
If you are at point A, you can reach 10x that with Kaalgyaan. Yeah, you expand as a personality.
Namaste, welcome to the Art of Living podcast. In today's episode, we are going to explore a very mystical topic, Kaalgyaan. Right? It has helped thousands of people across the world get more clarity, more direction in their lives. And with me today is Varun ji and Mayur ji, who are going to shed more light about what is Kaalgyaan and how it can help so many people. Varun ji has been with the Art of Living for over 23 years. He's been teaching Art of Living programs for over 16 years and helping thousands of people through this ability. Also Mayur ji, who has been not just an Art of Living teacher, but also a yoga trainer. He has trained thousands of teachers to go and spread the wisdom of yoga and meditation in society. So I'm very happy and I welcome both of you. And let's begin. Yeah, I want to ask you, my first question is, for those of us who are absolutely new to this, Varun ji, if you could help us understand, what is Kaalgyaan?
Kaalgyaan is the ability to scan through time, right? The past, present, future. So what is relevant for the person, the participant, comes up in the process from the past, present and future.
So if a person comes to a Kaalgyaan session, what really happens on that session?
See, it's a short meditative session, right? It's around 10 minutes. So what happens is the first few minutes, whatever is relevant for the individual, whatever the person is going through at that point in time comes up on its own. And in the second half of the session, the person asks specific questions regarding that issue and anything else also that are bothering them or holding them back.
So how does it seem to you? Like, do you see the visual in your mind? How does Kaalgyaan work?
The process is based on the intuitive space. Yeah. So what is relevant just comes up. It is not about flashes or you see something. It just happens. It flows from the intuitive space.
Like a thought?
Let things be a little bit of mystery also, no?
Okay. So Varun ji, can anyone do this?
Yes, anybody can do as long as they are 16 years and above. It's absolutely okay to do it.
Yeah. All right, so not for children. So to the both of you, I want to ask you this. How do you separate a general thought that comes up in your mind versus a Kaalgyaan impulse? I mean, does this happen throughout the day? You're walking around and can you see what's happening in people's minds? Or is it only a switch on and off that you can do in a session?
Many times when I'm with people, they say oh, you're a Kaal Gyani, so don't scan my mind. They just try to do that. See, how do you separate out the intuitive thought from a regular thought? See, on a daily basis, if you see from morning you wake up, so many thoughts come up, your plans or something that happened. The mind is filled with so many thoughts. But when you are a meditator, what happens is those thoughts gradually settle down. So, and that inner voice, that intuitive thought, you are able to just catch on to it so quickly. So I think when you actually do the Kaalgyaan process, and that's what happens, like how Varun was mentioning, that what is relevant at that time, because it's an intuitive thought, it's not that the regular everyday thought, the right thought comes up. So, and like how you said, it's not like something that you're always walking on and you're telling people, oh, this is that, this is that. Like, but when the person is also in need and that person genuinely wants to sit with the Kaalgyani and get the process done, then it works that way.
Okay, but if you cross a person who perhaps to you looks unsettled or worried or disturbed about something, will you then have an impulse?
It has happened. It's not that something like, of course, when you're doing a Kaalgyaan session, you are actually sitting and doing the process consciously. But it has happened many times that you're crossing somebody and it just flashes, this person is going through. I had this experience. It's like, how do you know? It's like, I know.
So do you tell them when you?
I mean, if I know the person very well or if I know them, I do tell them.
Anything you'd like to add to that, Varun?
No, it's perfect what he's saying, and there is, as he was telling, it's not an invasion of someone's privacy, right? We are not walking around, judging people. Minds. Judging people. We are not doing that at all. In fact, the whole process has made me non-judgmental as a person, even more. So it is just something to help the person out. It is more for the other than for us, right?
How have you seen this benefiting? You've given Kaalgyaan sessions to, I don't know, thousands of people. What are the benefits that they have come back to you and shared?
Benefits are endless, right? It is really, really endless. It depends on the person. As I mentioned, what the person is going through at that point in time, right? The relief happens to them. That is most important. And, there's so much gratitude. There is so much. It's not about you telling them something about time. It's not just about that. It's a meditative process. There is some expansion that happens to them. Some relief, some heaviness, some burden that just gets released. And when that happens, they themselves are able to come out of it. You got what I'm saying, right?
Do you think, Varun, it's also an acknowledgement of what somebody is going through coming from someone else?
Correct.
Largely people in today's society feel so unheard, unseen. And then when there is someone who can, acknowledge that this is really happening with you, it gives them some relief.
Yeah, every participant, most of them, I'm meeting them for the first time, right? And it happens online also. So when a random person who they have never met in their life shares their innermost thought, that just, that opens them up. That in fact it gives them faith that there is something holding them, something helping them. So that's been my experience.
So beautiful. It shifts their perspective from the mundane and the seen to something unseen, something which is more than what is visible.
Right.
Beautiful. Mayur, can you share, if a Kaalgyani's advice can actually change, the course of events in the future, what's to happen?
I can answer this question in two ways. One is tell you a little bit deeper aspect of how this is, and also maybe share an experience, couple of experience of what I've seen. Normally when you're not feeling all right, so you are a little confused, you're looking for guidance, whatever you tell them from a space of intellect, it doesn't go far. But Kaalgyaan, it comes from an intuitive space. It goes beyond the time. When it comes from that space, that energy guides the person more than what we say. Like how we said, like how Gurudev has initiated all of us into this. So somewhere, the Guru Tattva, that energy guides them. So that's where, it's more than beyond of showing them a path. Some transformation happens in their consciousness and life ahead. So there was this person, she was having a tough time with her in-laws. And when she did the Kaalgyaan session with me, and so that intuitively I had told her, she was working that time, she had quit and she was not in a good shape. It came to me that she needs to start a business. So 8 months later, she had a session again. She called me, said like, I started a business like how you told me, and it's already in profit. And she was so happy. So it's not only telling them, giving them hope, but actually it is happening. What is
practical
advice, and it is working because like I told you, it's coming from the space of energy, the time, beyond time. So it really shapes their life.
So, Mayur, can a Kaalgyani's advice change what is supposed to happen? Like, are you sort of tweaking the future for that person?
I want to answer this like how Gurudev says this. It's a combination of both free will and destination. See, one is where you're going. All right. So when you know where you're going or where you're headed, so if that is the right direction, then you continue going. If it's not the right direction, then you can give a little bit of adjustments so that they reach to the destination that really is helpful for them. Intuitively in that space, what is required, nature tells you what the person requires. So it's like a combination, right? So when things are not going well, then people really want help, they want solution. So like how I can give you an example of this one person who she had done the Kaal Gyan session with me, and she was really going through a tough time with her family, and she had quit her job for long and she was not working. And I had told her that it comes to me that you should start a business, and she did, and 8 months later she called back and said, I did that, and like my business was already started seeing profit. She was very thankful. Wow. The business was there for her. So nature, the intuitive thought told, yes, she should go in that direction. Maybe they had not recognized it. So, but it helps them to have that faith, like how Varun was saying, and take the direction towards where they want to go.
So this is for both of you. How and when did this start for you? Like, did you have supernatural abilities before that, or how did this begin?
With me, I'm the most regular person you'll meet. There's nothing supernatural at all till the day Gurudev just decided that he just called few of us, and it was actually during the COVID lockdown, the peak of uncertainty. The whole world was so uncertain, so anxious. So nature, Gurudev had to give the solution, right? So he just randomly called us and he initiated us, and it started overnight. In that moment it started. To the most ordinary person like me. Yeah.
I would like to repeat the same answer, right? So it's all Gurudev's blessings, and he's found the time, that's the right moment when, like how Varun was saying, the world was going through uncertainties. People really need this assurance and guidance, and a place where they can also let go and release those pent up whatever emotions and have hope and move in the right direction. I think that was the need, and Gurudev called us and initiated a few of us, and it just started like that.
So how is this different from the intuition program that the children go through? How is Kaalgyaan different from this?
See, the intuition process, what I have noticed, that children have so many abilities, right? It manifests in so many different ways. Like kids can just read blindfolded, they can move things, yeah, and they are even able to, many of them are able to predict things as well. But in Kaalgyaan, what I've noticed, it has manifested as purely as seeing through time in adults. So it has become a process, right? It is, it's not just Q&A. It is some energy, like Gurudev was mentioning the other day, that the intuition process, it is the Pragya Shakti, right? The Pragya Shakti. And in Kaalgyaan, the Para energy, that is manifesting. I have no clue what that is, but that's what Gurudev said. So there is some difference in the manifestation of this particular technique, this energy.
Is it that a person goes to a Kaalgyaan session only when things are not going right in their life, or can a sadhak or a spiritual seeker come to a Kaalgyaan session looking for more specific directions, or maybe like a guideline on how they are going as sadhaks, what they need to improve? Do you think it could help them as well?
Absolutely, right? Like Gurudev says, it is perfection to perfection life. You don't have to be in trouble to go for Kaalgyaan. Yeah. So if you are at point A, you can reach 10x that with Kaalgyaan. Yeah. You expand as a personality.
So
yeah,
are you saying that the awareness, we know that we need to do something to get better, but perhaps our awareness is on the micro things that are going on in life, and does Kaalgyaan help to give a bigger perspective on our life, or do you think that it rechannels your energy towards what's really good for you?
I would like to again go back. There is nothing fixed about it. Every session is unique. I cannot tell you that this is how it is and you can expect this in your session. It is customized as if the nature, Gurudev has customized it for the individual, right? So whatever happens, even if you attend Kaalgyaan more than once, the second session will be totally different from the first session. So it is the present moment. At this moment, what is needed comes to you, happens to you.
Wow. So every moment is the universe telling us something.
Yeah, what is relevant at that moment. So, you know, like there's this very beautiful example that Gurudev wants, you know, like a guru is somebody who has the bird's eye view.
Yeah.
So you can see the entire pathway, but we are here on the road trying to navigate. So sometimes you go too much to that side, you're pulled to the other side, and you go too much this side, you're pushed to the other side. So what is relevant so that you reach your the goal? So it works like that.
So, you know, now, especially after COVID, there is so much interest in astrology. So many astrologers are, you know, giving various directions on what should be done generically and more specifically. So how is Kaalgyaan different from astrology?
I'm one of those people who got interested in reading about a lot of astrology, though I have not dwelled deep into it, but just like the metaphysics of it, just understanding how it works, very fascinating. What I have understood is, you know, astrology gives you a broad roadmap towards where is your life heading, and what kind of obstacles you may face, what are the probability of things happening, possibility of things happening, and how you can safeguard yourself by doing certain remedies and stuff. Whereas Kaalgyaan, I've seen it's very specific. What you needed, it's not like a vague answer, but like it gives you a very specific thing of you need to do this, you go in this direction, which gives a lot of relief for them. Example, there was this one person, he had lost his job after, like, you know, this time, you know, they had a lot of job losses that were happening. He has a family, he was a lot of stress, and he had done a Kaalgyaan session, and it came that, you know, he was very anxious to know when he will get the job, when he will come out of it. And it was very precise, between March and April, you will get the job. And he calls me in April and says, I got the job, and a job which is better than the previous job. So, you know, it gives a lot of hope and confidence, and it's very specific. So like that, you know, maybe Varun can add on, like, you know, that's what I have seen my personal experience, you know, because it's very specific, it's much easier to, you know, build your life around it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So just like astrology, are there any remedies in Kaalgyaan also? Like, are there any solutions to come out of that tough spot that they are in right now?
See, both experiences I've had, right? In my experience, that Kaalgyaan itself is the remedy, right? Many times, not always, many times Kaalgyaan, you just attending the session for a few minutes, as I mentioned, brings some transformation in you, where you yourself are able to come out of the situation, right? That is one difference that I've noticed. See, for example, I was in Arunachal Pradesh for some time. Yeah, Gurudev sent me a couple of years back. So a lot of people used to come for the session, devotees, non-devotees, people who had done Art of Living, who had no clue about what Art of Living was. Word of mouth. So one such lady came and she took the session, and of course I will not take her name, but she attended the session. She was going through a lot. She was alone, not much family, you know, support, or no one with her. She just had one brother. So what had happened is, people, you know, a single lady, people had taken money. She had lent money to some people, and they were not giving back the money. They were not returning it. So she was helpless. So years together, she was stuck. So she came for the session, and it just came up, no specific remedy, nothing came up for her. It just came up, be strong, Gurudev is with you. And that's all I remember. After 1 week, she comes back, asks the same question. Again the same thing comes up. And okay, 3rd week, she comes back again, asks the same question. So I asked her, oh, because nothing specific was coming other than be strong. So she said, Bhaiya, each time I come for the session, one of these people who have taken money randomly calls me and starts returning it.
I still have a few installments to go.
Yeah. So she was so surprised that just attending the process, things started moving in her life. You know? And also the same lady, I mentioned about a brother, right? He had gotten into wrong company or something, innocent people, was in jail. some fight, something happened, and the judicial process, there was some delay, and even after the term, what he was supposed to serve, he was still lying inside the jail due to some procedural delay. So again, she asked about this, and it just came, nothing to worry, that's all. After a month, she brings one more boy with her and says, Bhaiya, this is my brother. After these sessions, things started moving. Something, something from the government, something from the judiciary, the lawyer, everything clicked, and my brother came out. And the brother, after that, attended the session, he did the happiness program, then he came out, and then he got reintegrated into the society. So this is one such example where there was no remedy, absolutely no remedy, but it still worked. So this is another difference, I feel.
Maybe I like to, since Varun mentioned exactly sister and brother, something I can also remember, like how I was telling that in the whole process is the remedy. It's such a beautiful answer, that's the truth. So there was this senior citizen lady, I was doing a scanning session almost maybe a couple of years back, and like since you asked astrology and this, sometimes when you are in the Kaalgyaan session, something they not even have planned for, it comes out randomly, and that is what they need at that moment. So she was in a lot of trauma. I sat with her and I could just sense it, and I was just telling things, and like suddenly I asked, like, you had a younger brother? I didn't say you have, I said, like, you had a younger brother but it's no more. She started bursting out in tears. I was like, and she couldn't speak, and I was like, she just nodded. I was like, I don't know from where, because she's like maybe 67 or something, and you lost him, he was much younger, and it was not a natural death. She started sobbing even more. She said, yes, I had a brother, in my teenage I lost him, and only 2 years back she came to know that it was a suicide. And since then she had been holding on to this, that she could have done something so many decades back so that the brother would not have done something like that. And after the session she felt so relieved. Then I get a message a long time, like, she slept so well after many years, so it's like that, so beautiful. It's not like sometimes all the time you're only telling them about you have to do this, you have to do this remedy or this, but that whole process can make them lighter, feel more grateful in life.
So that burden could be of the past or the future.
Yes,
it just lifts it
absolutely.
up. So is there any scriptural or historic evidence of such a technique in the past? Like, does the Patanjali Yoga Sutras say something? We've heard of the nadis that are read, and they have reference to each person's life in the past and the future. So is there any historical reference to Kaalgyaan as well?
Well, I can tell you how this works. There is a reference in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. It says, Patanjali Maharshi says, Tatra Niratishayam Sarvagya Bijam. He says, see, like how we were talking about, Kaalgyaan comes from the space of intuition, the calm, quiet space from within, right? And that space, this sutra says, that contains the seed of all knowing all the time. So it's like, you tap into that space, and what is required that moment, you get it. It's like Gurudev gives this beautiful example. He says, like, imagine you're having a big dictionary, and it has all the words. So you having the dictionary itself means that you have all the words. So whenever you need, you can open and take out the word you need. So you don't have to remember all the words all the time. So whenever it's required, you just open, the relevant thing comes up. So Kaalgyaan also is like that. So that consciousness, pure space of consciousness, contains the entire possibility of the creation in the seed form. So when you are in that space, like like how Gurudev has initiated into that, you can connect with that space, and you can bring out that relevant thing, what is required.
So a Kaalgyani has access to reading that dictionary. They can
yes, absolutely.
share with you what the word is.
Can I ask a question on your behalf?
Okay,
because he is the expert, right, in yoga as well. So, what does Patanjali Yoga Sutras say about this? Like, do you need to practice this for a long time? What is it like? How does one achieve this?
So, I mean, so there are two ways Patanjali Maharishi says this. You know, you can to make the mind calm. That's the first step. So even Gurudev has said, like, when people ask, like, how can everybody be intuitive? Yes, Gurudev says yes. Only that when you go beyond cravings and aversion, then intuition happens very naturally. Or else the mind is filled with our little desires, so mind is running outwards. So it doesn't settle in. So to make this happen, Patanjali Maharishi says two things happen: abhyasa and vairagya, practice and dispassion. Right? And he gives a sutra for practice also. The practice is, Satudirga Kala Nairantarya Satkara Sevito Dridabhu.
For a long time.
For a long time without break.
Without
and
break.
With honor and respect.
Yeah.
So then you are able to firmly establish in it. So what practice of sadhana, meditation, that's why meditation, yoga, even being in satsang, the company of master, all this helps us to easily handle the cravings and aversions, so that everybody can become intuitive.
Even in the Sanyam program, Gurudev mentions that doing Sanyama can
Absolutely.
unlock the vision of the past and the future.
So doing Sanyama is the abhyasa, and with a little bit of dispassion also.
But what's amazing, no, Tanushriji, I feel that, see, in the scriptures, it's so clearly said, and you have to practice for a long time. A person like me who has not practiced at all, overnight, Gurudev is able to just initiate,
Absolutely.
and it starts working. So it speaks more about Gurudev than all of
this
us.
is true. I mean,
like he literally bypassed the whole years together of practice without break. Yeah,
that's true. No, since you mentioned that, there's a sutra for this also in the Yoga Sutras. That the consciousness is the Guru. This Guru Tattvas existed even beyond time, and which has been guiding people all throughout. Okay. So Gurudev often says Guru is not just the body, it's the consciousness. So if the consciousness can do magic to whoever he wants to or she wants to.
And Gurudev has been doing this for teachers and for all of us actually on the path, giving more than what is our current ability and then raising our ability to match that. You've mentioned about the benefits that other people have had taking Kaalgyaan sessions, but I want to ask you, how has it changed you? Giving Kaalgyaan session, how has it changed your perspective about people, about yourself, about the world? Can you share that?
After I started doing Kaalgyaan sessions, I have started putting others' need, comfort more than mine first. Many times it has happened that I have a lot of work, deadlines to finish, but a call comes, I need this Kaalgyaan session. I say, like, okay, put my comforts later. That person needs, I sit and do the Kaalgyaan session for them. So it has brought this sense of duty, and not for the result, not for like, okay, what will I get out of it? I will feel good, I will feel great because I'm helping somebody. No, it's the duty comes first, like how Gurudev talks about Karma Yoga. So that always comes first, and this has become very strong in me because of practicing Kaalgyaan. Second thing is like how I told Gurudev says, cravings and aversions. I feel that it's so much easy to identify it and let go of it.
Very similar to what Mayurji is telling. So many people have had the chance to conduct Kaalgyaan across the world, right? Because it's online also. So people from all walks of life, all religions, all backgrounds, rich, poor, everyone, right? They're able to attend. And what I've noticed is, in the superficial layer, of course, we are all so different. But one level down, when you see through Kaalgyaan, everybody are going through that human experience. What Gurudev says in the happiness program, it really, you can see that people are going through that same human experience in different degrees, in different flavors, but the core is the same, that we are one, that experience happens to you. And as I told it, you just become non-judgmental. There's no labeling people after that, knowing that it's just a temporary bad phase where they just come out and they're a totally different person after that. So that is one thing that I've experienced.
And do these sessions happen only one-on-one, or can there be like group sessions? Can you do Kaalgyaan simultaneously for a large group of people?
Both happen, right? Like there are certain things that people cannot discuss in public. So that happens one-to-one. In fact, majority of the sessions happen one-to-one because people are uncomfortable sharing in the public. But also in large crowds, we are able to do something called scanning in a group, right? So Kaalgyaan in a group. So like I'll give you an example. There was the Vietnamese group that had come to the Art of Living Center in Bangalore. So first time in India, first time in Bangalore, first time in ashram. Yeah, so Gurudev said, go do Kaalgyaan. A message came from the secretary. So we all went, and around 40 of them were sitting in front of us, 40 or 60 people. So 4-5 people we just randomly pick from the group and share one thing about them, 1 or 2 things, and it comes as accurate. And this is how it's done in the group. We don't go too deep because certain things that are private are not shared. But after that, in fact, interestingly, it's with a translator, right? So this is more my experience than the participants. But there's an old lady who's asking a question. After I shared, like 4 people, I shared whatever came up, and they said yes and all that. And then I said, do you have questions? And one lady started asking a question. She spoke to the translator. And then the translator was about to translate to me. And I tell the translator, isn't this what she asked? Oh. And the translator is shocked. And there are few people who understand English, they are also shocked. So this is more my experience.
So additionally, an inbuilt Google Translate.
Google Translate. It happened once, right? It's not that it happens every time, but that's something that was unique that I remember from this group scanning, group Kaalgyaan.
So when Gurudev says we communicate more through our presence than our words, it goes to this level as well that, if you have the right receptor for it, you will know what the presence is saying.
Yeah, it just happened like that, right? In that space, it happened like that.
And we do have many Kaalgyanis, like how Varun was mentioning, who have done the sessions on bigger groups. I know this Kaalgyani. So he had done a session for 1,200 people in one go like that. I mean, it's, you don't know how it works, it's all Gurudev, that's all we know.
Mayur, is there a danger that someone could use the Kaalgyaan session as a sort of shortcut in life, like to escape responsibility of their actions, or to find a way to sort of escape a challenge instead of getting the hope, the strength and motivation to actually overcome it?
So I like to share a small experience here, and this is based on a relationship issue. So there were this couple who were supposed to get married, and one of them said like, okay, let's take a break now. Like they're just like maybe 4 months into marriage. The other partner was so tensed and took a Kaalgyaan session. And in the session it came that marriage will happen as planned, but there is one thing that person had to change in their way they are. I asked like, it comes to me, you are very overbearing, you're suffocating the other person. That's why the other person is having second thoughts. And this person just kept quiet and said, yes, I'm like that. So many times Kaalgyaan session, not necessarily you're only showing a direction or giving a remedy, but just that identification of where the issue is, that itself starts their journey towards fixing their life.
It's not escapism, actually it can make you more aware of your shortcomings.
Absolutely. That's why what happens in a Kaalgyaan session, it's never planned, like how Varun was saying, it's very unique. What the other person requires at that moment of time, whether it is a direction towards where they have to go or some basic change they need to bring in who they are, it works magic.
And are there any things that are, any topics that are off the table in a Kaalgyaan session? Like, is there something that you are not permitted to say or don't say, or do you think it's not relevant for them to know? Like for example, if someone comes to you asking for investment advice or maybe want to know how long they will live, so do you get into that? Or maybe when they will have children or something like that. Do you address such questions, or do you think it's in their best interest for time to show them the result?
See, one thing what I've noticed is, it's not really under my control what comes up, right? Oh. So if someone is trying to sit in the session for a purpose that is not that genuine, right? Like what you hinted at, it may be just to game the stock market or something like that. Nothing will come up.
Oh.
Right, we are just sitting there. Right?
So there is an inbuilt
fail safe.
Wow.
Yeah, so nothing will come up. And till now what I've noticed is nothing that scares people, no? This process itself is not like that. The direction is of hope. If you're here, it takes you there. It's not to create insecurity. If something like, okay, some accident will happen to you after 5 years, what will you do? Those 5 years you'll be thinking, right? Each time you step into a vehicle, you'll be thinking. So
but can something be done to, avoid it? Can you tell that person be more careful driving or something like that?
So what comes up is something that is like a countermeasure to that. Like if a person, for example, I've shared this in the past as well. There was a person with a very serious heart disease, right? And his son came for the session. And in the session, it came up that you need to take dad to the doctor immediately, yeah, for the heart related issue. So then that person took, and the dad did not have any history of cardiac issues at all. And it came up that why don't you just check, that's how it comes up. Why don't you just check? And the person immediately took their dad, and it came up that there is this block and all that, and immediately the solution happened. So the process goes in the direction of
solutions rather
solutions. Perfection to perfection.
There is one philosophy of karma that whatever is written for you or issued for you will come your way. But Gurudev says that grace can lessen that impact.
Correct.
A stone is going to fall, but what size can be lessened by grace? So how does Kaalgyaan fit into karma? Like, can Kaalgyaan session lessen what is to happen, or it only makes you aware so you can be prepared, oh, stone is going to fall, so I'm going to be more careful?
Preparing for the inevitable, no? Like that.
Yeah. Is it like, can it?
Yeah.
Both ways.
Because grace can, but can Kaalgyaan also do the same?
Kaalgyaan is grace.
Kaalgyaan is grace. So when Gurudev says, when somebody says come to me, then Gurudev says go to a Kaalgyani. If, for some things he tells people to go to Kaalgyaan. But when people come to Gurudev, just a few words from him sometimes just...
No, there was one experience when this person had come and taken session, and I had told them whatever came, and they went to Gurudev again.
And they get the same answer.
They get the same answer and they come back and tell me, I went to Gurudev also, he told the same thing what you told.
Another question that, I want to address both of you. Has it happened that in a Kaalgyaan session, you have the person who is in front of you seems like they are in a really tight spot, they feel there is no hope for them, and perhaps they are thinking of a very drastic solution, or not even solution, rather a very drastic step towards perhaps ending their life or something like that. Has that happened, and how have you seen Kaalgyaan help them?
It has happened over the years, especially with young people. I've noticed this. Some of them. Kaalgyaan helps very much here. Yeah, it's not even about the solution, as I mentioned. They just sit in the session for a few minutes and they get that relief, and they are able to come out of those tendencies. Those tendencies, even addictions, something that has really put them in a small box, tight corner. They're able to come out of that in those few minutes and then reach their potential.
Yeah, very similar, sometimes even some familial issues they had, they don't know how to come out of it. They seem to be at the end of everything. But just that Kaalgyaan session, whatever the solution that was given, or just being there, like how Varun said, I get a call back from a message from them, I'm in so much better space right now, and thank you. I think it's at the end of the day, it's all the grace of the Master. It's going and healing them,
It's really saving lives then.
Absolutely.
There was this boy who, his parents are from the army, right? And army parents, they want their next generation. There's so much hope that they also join the defense forces and, serve the nation. And this boy really wanted to do that also. But due to some issue, whatever, he had tried multiple times and he was not clearing. So this is the other end where there are some remedies that are also suggested sometimes. So for this boy, certain things came up that you do these particular things, some meditations and some courses, and then you see. And that boy was so sincere, and he had attempted so many times, and this was like the last time, and he did it everything to the dot. So Kaalgyaan is, sometimes it's not just about the process. It's also about the participant and how much they take it forward. Yeah. So this boy, as he's a army family's kid, did everything to the dot, and after every task he used to let me know, and at the final task he calls me saying that Varun, I finished whatever you said, everything, every single thing, this, and as soon as I finished it, I just got a call that I've been selected.
Wow.
Today he's serving. It's almost 4-5 years now.
Wow.
And the parents were so proud. He was so happy. So yeah.
So it's equally dependent on the sincerity of
Correct.
how they pursue the remedies that you give.
Correct. Sometimes the remedies come up. Sometimes it is just the process.
Processes.
Yeah.
So Varun, has this happened with you? I mean, on a lighter note, somebody comes to you just with the intention of checking you or sort of testing your ability, or whether you can really tell what's happening in their mind?
Not exactly testing, but there is sometimes an element of, the logical mind of the participant. Sometimes it is there, right? So there was one such person. He came and he attended the process, and everything was correct, right? Regarding his career, all that came up, and he said yes. And towards the end of the process, I asked him one question. In fact, it was a question that, do you like this, Krishna? Guruvayurappan, there is a form of Krishna in Kerala. That specific name came up. Lot of blessings are there of Krishna, like that, Guruvayurappan. And he started crying. And he was not a devotee, right? He was first time he had come. So he did not know much about anything else. And I asked him, after some time, I said, you can open your eyes. And he said, everything you mentioned was right, but there was some part of me which was skeptical. And I said, if this process is really accurate, let them tell me that this is my Ishta Devata.
Oh.
Guruvayurappan.
Something so specific.
Specific. And when I mentioned the word Guruvayurappan, he just, and then, so this has happened.
I had a businessman who had come, I don't know who had suggested, he just came and he just wanted to check it out, right? So we started the process, and I could even tell till the amount of loan he had taken in the bank. Then at the end it's like, what do I say? It's so good. That was his expression. So maybe he was not really looking for an answer, but he was fascinated by that. So we do get sometimes people who come and...
So I want to know, how many Kaalgyanis are there in the world as of today?
Around 260?
260, around 260, yeah.
And all, not just in India?
All over
Everywhere.
the world.
All over the world. Okay.
All continents, all countries, most of them.
So in case some of us are looking for that help, support or guidance, you can reach out to our Kaalgyanis in the link that is mentioned in the description of this video. You can click it to book a consultation, and also do share your experiences of this particular podcast episode in the comments. What resonated with you? What clicked for you? Do share it. Share the video forward with your friends and family as well. See you in the next episode. Namaste.